Hey guys, Augustin here, coming from my Lost Ark. And today I'm going to share with you guys my Reflux Sorceress build, as someone did ask me for it in my last video about my Vulcan POV when I did Vulcan Hard on my Sorc. So I will be covering everything in this, where we'll go over our skills, gems, cards, engravings, gear, stats, rotation, so just everything there is to know about Reflux Sorc. So if you're interested in figuring that out, then stick around and let's get straight into it now, shall we? So for starters, let's actually speak about the skills. Now this over here is what I like to call the cookie cutter reflux build. There is two different variants. There is the casting variant and then the instant cast variant. I am using the instant cast variant. Reason being because for me, if I want to play the casting version, I would rather just go play full Igniter Sorc anyway. But it's up to you. I will. If you guys want me to make a video covering the casting reflux Sorc, then leave that down below in the comments. I know to make that for you guys. But in this video, we will be covering the instant cast reflux Sorc. So for starters, we do have Blaze. This is our synergy buff with damage amplification for the group. Gives everybody 6% damage for 8 seconds. Should be up at all times. It's only a 10-second cooldown. So, and every time it ticks, like the flame on the floor, it will tick again and start the timer again. So this pretty much should always be up on the boss. And then we use damage amp, flame expansion, and weak point detection. Just a little bit of damage. You don't really need these. I wouldn't suggest going out to buy this. It's not the most important tripod to go for, but that is one over there that you can actually get more damage on, and then damage amp. And then moving on, Squall. This is our counter. We do have two counters, this being our best one to use, and we use quick prep with it. This is only once I do have the 2 set of the Nightmare set, which is a relic set from doing Vulcan Hard. But if you don't have that yet, I would highly suggest using Mind Enhancement, because the MB cost on Reflux Sorc, if you're just starting out fresh and new, if you don't have the right ruins and you're missing out on stuff, especially your 2 set from your relic set, helps you out so much with the MP. You will struggle quite a bit as a starting out Reflux Sorc on MP. So just, you always want to get the Mind Enhancement on all your skills when you're starting out. And then moving on, we do have Frost Call with Mind Enhancement, obviously, Unstable Rule, and Final Strike. This you could technically put into Enlightenment once you have the 2-piece if you want to build up your special meter faster, just so you can teleport around more. But really, you shouldn't have to worry about that, so just leave it on Mind Enhancement. And then moving on, we do have Rhyme Arrow with Quick Prep, Piercing Strike, and Ice Pick. It's just cooldown and more damage. And then Seraphic Veil, we got Quick Prep, Additional Explosion, and Weak Point Detection, just more damage and cooldown again. And then Punishing Strike, this is our hardest hitting ability. We got Mind Enhancement, Unavoidable Fate, and Final Strike. So that's MP reduction and then more damage as well. And then reverse, and also changes this into an instant cast. So you don't have to actually stand and cast. We'll make a line where you cast it. But we'll show you guys that once we get to the rotations. And then reverse gravity. Now this skill over here, you can actually kind of change this out for anything. So quick prep, lava area, and weak point detection, just more damage and cooldown. It is very good. It does contribute quite a bit of your damage. But it is that like selectional one that you can actually change out. But if you would, I would actually rather say if you want to swap something, then swap out Squall. So if you don't have to counter something, or if you know that your group, if you're on with a preset group where you know that you guys have like a counters worked out and stuff, and you can actually drop Squall, I would drop Squall for, it would be your choice. If you want a little bit more damage, you go with Inferno. It's got the highest damage out of all these other skills. I have tested it for the instant cast version. Or you could even run Lightning Vortex with damage amp, just for another way to get your damage amp up, but you really shouldn't need to. Or what I would suggest highly is Elgian's Touch, which is a shield. And this is a really, really huge shield. It helps you out so much. It is a little bit difficult to maintain early on when you do not have your relic set because of MP issues. But if you can actually use this with your 2 set, it helps you out so much. I use it quite often. I will drop reverse gravity for it because I need Squall for my counters in Vault and Hard and stuff like that. But if you're not running a counter, then I would suggest putting it in there. And then the tripods that actually run with it would be Quick Prep for the cooldown, Swift Footwork to help you go faster. It gives you a nice little movement speed boost when it's up. And then MP Training, as it will increase your maximum MP. So if you generally don't get hit much anyway, and using this, then you can actually just maintain it the whole time for the increased MP and the increased movement speed. And that just helps you out so much. But yeah, those are your interchangeable skills. Would be Elgia's Touch with reverse gravity or Squall, depending on what you need in what situations. The runes real quick. So you want Bleed on your Blaze as high as what you can get. The legendary one, if you've got it, I just don't have it yet. And then Squall, we do have Quick Recharge for chance of reset on everything. We got Focus on our Frost Calls, the legendary Focus. We got Rage on Rhyme Arrow, Rage on Seraphic Hail, And now Punishing Strike, we got Gale Wind because we just want to increase that casting speed. If you got the legendary one, great, chuck it on there. Reverse Gravity, Gale Wind again. And then quick recharge on our Esoteric Reaction. And then if you do run Elgear's Touch, or if you run Inferno, you want to put Gale Wind on those as well, just to make them a little bit faster. Alright, so let's speak about our skills and rotation right now and how we want to actually use them. So for starters, you want to be using Punishing Strike off cooldown as soon as possible, so it can come back again and you can use it again. Since it is our highest damaging move, but it is also a very high stagger move, so if you need stagger, Punishing Strike is your friend. But we do want to apply Blaze, so we do have our damage application buff first. So that is what we'll be doing first and foremost. And then you kind of just rotate through everything as you see fit. Just pop everything up and Blaze off cooldown. And then if you have your Squall actually changed for like Inferno or something else, you can actually just throw that in there too. Keep your Blaze up again. Here we do have Punishing Strike coming back around, so you want to throw that out. And you just keep going to town like this. And the good range to be at is where I'm at right now. You don't want to be too far away, because there is some interaction with Terrific Hail that I will demonstrate to you guys right now. That actually makes it do a little bit less damage. So let me show you guys what I mean. If we reset our cooldowns real quick, Terrific Hail is the wave ability. If we actually do it from far, you can see it actually hits a couple of times and it falls back. And if we reset our cooldowns, we go up onto the boss a couple of times, or hit more and then fall back as well. So actually hit more times the closer you are. So if you start a test, for example, to behind the boss, you can see the DPS difference. When it hits, it's 1.1 million. And if we stand at rage and then we start a kiss, we've only got 8.6 million. 860k, so not even 1.1 million. It's quite a big difference. And the best range, like Woodford, would be around there. So you can actually get all of the ticks on it and the explosion. See that crit a little bit more. But yeah, you kind of want to be in this melee to mid-range. You don't want to be like out here. You can if you need to be doing something, but if like Seraphic Hail's on cooldown, so you could be running around and doing something over here, avoiding mechanics or whatever. But then when you cast Seraphic Hail, you want to try and make sure that you are at least this kind of range from the boss. And then as well with your Reverse Gravity, Esoteric Reaction, and Frost Call, these you can cast just a little bit away from the boss. See there, I did it too far, so reset. You need to get the sweet spot. As long as the AoE hits the boss at any point, it will do full damage to it. Same with Esoteric Reaction. It doesn't need to be right on the boss. The AoE just needs to hit it. So it's really lenient. And then Reverse Gravity, you do need to have it hit inside the explosion or just on the point of the explosion. But obviously this is cast on your character, so you can't be running around and casting it since it will cast on top of you. And then if you do Squall is from range, so you can use that as a range counter. Really nice, especially when you're doing Bolton. Let's actually go over and talk about our engravings. So I'll bring up engravings. We are running Precise Dagger, Adrenaline Reflux, and Hitmaster. Now this is what I would actually consider the budget setup. You could drop Adrenaline for something like Grudge or Cursed Doll if you can afford it in your setup. Or if you want 5, you could actually go with Cursed Doll and Grudge instead of Adrenaline. I just like Adrenaline because it doesn't break the bank and it's really good skill overall. You just need to maintain it. With the casting build, it's a little bit more difficult to maintain. With the instant cast build, it's really easy to maintain it. So that's your options there. Would be Grudge and Cursed Doll. If you can afford it and fit it in, then I would suggest going for that. And speaking about the engravings, we've actually got that there. Let's actually speak about the gear. So our stats, we want to be going full crit. We'll go as much crit as we can because we will be using, obviously you've seen a lot of crit damage in the tripods. We'll be utilizing a lot of that crit damage. So we want high crit as high as possible with a little bit of swiftness. So it means you put crit on both of your earrings, both of your rings, and then your neck piece would be crit swiftness. So when you get to 1370, you will be getting hard mode Aureus and Argos unlocked. And then you can actually come and make the Chosen gear and the Preordained or the Harsh. We will actually be going for the Preordained set. So once you hit 1370, this will be your gearing up process. You want to come over to do Argos P1 and then get 2 pieces of Argos, and you'll also get 2 pieces of Chosen, which is from Aurea's hard mode once you hit 1370. And then once you hit 1385 and then 1400, you actually want to work on building up your full Preordained set from Argos. And then once you have actually completed that and you're over 1400 item level, progressing upwards to 1415, we actually unlock Bolton. You want to get the Demon Beast 4 set, depending on how long you'll be on normal mode. If you get really lucky from 14, 15, and then in another week or two you actually manage to push up to 1445 to get to Vault in hard mode, we will be building a different set. But if you think you're going to take it slow, then you really have nothing to lose from just crafting yourself the Demon Beast 4 set. There is a 6 set as well, so if you actually are planning on running it for that long, you might as well go ahead and craft yourself the Demon Beast 6 set as well. Since it is quite a decent damage boost, it is just flat out damage. There's no crit and proccing or anything, it's just plain flat damage. And it's a really good 6 piece to have the Demon Beast set if you don't see yourself doing hard mode for anytime soon. But if you are running hard mode and you're trying to get the best set that there is for you, Nightmare set is the best set. So you want to pick up the 2-piece Nightmare Flower set. If you can get lucky and get your weapon and your chest piece, or like your 2-piece with the weapon, then go for it. But the biggest thing is getting your 2-piece as fast as possible, since your 2-piece does give you an MP cost reduction of 50%, which is huge on Reflux Sorc. And you guys will thank me once you start playing Reflux Sorc. You'll see the MP issues is quite difficult. So that is something you want to keep in mind. Once you get your 2-piece Nightmare Relic set, it just goes away. There's no more MP problems. It's so easy and fluid to play. I will give you guys a little tip on how to play it if you do not have the Nightmare set, just to help you actually get MP so you can actually manage to play Reflux Sorc earlier. But yeah, full Nightmare set is what you'll be going after once we do have Vicus to craft the other 3 pieces. That will be from Vicus. So for now, just get your 2-piece as fast as possible. And then your weapon, obviously you want to get that as well. But honestly, getting a 2-piece for me is more important than getting the weapon. It's just such a huge class changer once you get the MP cost reduction. And then the little trick I want to speak to you guys about, where you can actually do Reflux without having a 2-piece, is in your skills, and it actually lies within your ruins. So you guys must know of Conviction and Judgment. Conviction has a 10% chance to imbue Conviction on you for 3 seconds, and then once you have that, you can have Judgment, which then consumes the Conviction stack, has a 10% chance to consume that, and will increase your combat, resource recovery, and reduce skill cooldowns. So Conviction and Judgment early on, when you're playing Reflux Sorc and you don't have the good focus ruins and all that kind of stuff yet, that is your method on how to cheese it to get like MP resource, resource regeneration. Early on, Conviction and Judgment. I would put Conviction on your Blaze, because you'll be proccing that quite often. And obviously, if you do have the Legendary Conviction and Judgment or the purple one, go for that. The highest one you do have. Just these, everybody should have these. You can buy them from the Pirate Vendor. So Conviction on your Blaze, and then you want to consume it with Seraphic Hail. So Judgment you'll be having on Seraphic Hail to actually consume the Conviction and then have your resources build up really fast. And then card sets, we do want to run the Lost Wind set. I just haven't got lucky to actually awaken the last couple that I need to get the crit buff. So you want to be using Lost Wind set. I think it's plus 12 awaken will get you the 7% crit. Or you could, if you don't have that yet, just use yourself the Field Boss set. And if you actually do manage to awaken them, I think plus 18 awakening on them will give you the 2.5% crit chance. So if you got really lucky and have a lot of Field Boss cards, go ahead and awaken them up, and you can actually get yourself some crit on there as well. But yeah, the ideal set would be the Lost Wind set once you can get the crit for that. And that's pretty much all there is to it, guys. If I missed anything, or if you guys have any comments or questions, ask them down below in the comments. And join my Discord. Trying to build that up there. You can ask me questions in there as well. And thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Augustin out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying.